Hi, I'm Dr. Johnny. Let me ask you something straight from the heart. What would you do if tomorrow morning your doctor looked you in the eye and said your kidneys are failing? I know that fear, that sinking feeling, because I've seen it on countless faces in my clinic. And here's the shocking truth you probably haven't heard
You
before.
have
Every single day in
advanced
America,
kidney
more than
disease, and
50,000
there
people are
is
told they
no
have kidney
cure.
disease, and almost none of them saw it coming.
Oh my
Most of them are
goodness.
blindsided because their blood tests didn't warn them early enough. And when they finally get that diagnosis, they're told the same thing: it's chronic, it's irreversible, and it's only going to get worse. But let me tell you, as a doctor who spent years treating this, that's not the full truth. The reality is that 99% of early kidney disease can actually be slowed down and in many cases reversed if you know the real causes and take action before it's too late. And that's exactly what I'm here to show you today. So stay with me, because in just a few minutes, you'll understand why the system often fails to warn you in time what hidden triggers are silently damaging your kidneys, and most importantly, the proven steps you can take starting right now to protect and even restore kidney function. And to truly see how urgent this is, let's first look at where kidney disease really comes from. You know, when most people hear the word kidney disease, they think it just happens out of nowhere. Like one day you're fine and the next day your kidneys are shutting down. But that's not the truth. As a doctor, I can tell you that behind almost every single case, there's a hidden trigger, and most of those triggers are things you actually can control. Let me give you a story. A patient of mine, Robert, a 62-year-old retired carpenter, came in shocked after his blood test showed early kidney decline. He thought it was genetics, that it was just bad luck. But when we looked closer, the real culprits were sitting right on his dinner plate and hidden in his daily habits. That's the pattern I see again and again. It's not random, it's predictable. Science confirms this. Studies show that while rare genetic issues and infections account for only a tiny fraction of kidney disease, lifestyle-driven factors like high blood pressure, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes account for up to 75% of all early cases. That means 3 out of every 4 people who are told they have kidney disease are suffering from something they could have prevented if only they had known earlier. And here's the shocking part. These aren't problems that explode overnight. They build slowly, silently, year after year, until the kidneys finally wave the white flag. By the time you feel the symptoms, you're already in stage 3, and that's why so many people get blindsided. But only knowing the big picture isn't enough, because behind these conditions lies a system that often fails to warn you until it's too late. And that brings us to the next critical question. Why does the medical system wait until your kidneys are already in danger before sounding the alarm? That answer will surprise you. But just knowing this first part isn't enough, because there's an even deeper factor waiting ahead, and it's far more dangerous than most people realize. Now that you know the most common causes, the next question is, how do doctors actually measure kidney damage? This is where things get tricky, because the system itself often hides the danger until it's too late. Take Margaret, a 67-year-old grandmother who came to me with constant fatigue. Her test showed an eGFR of 62, which technically means she was already in stage 2 kidney disease. But do you know what her doctor told her? Nothing at all. No warning, no red flag. Why? Because the medical system doesn't raise the alarm until you drop below 60. That means millions of people walk around in stage 2 with their kidneys already struggling, completely unaware that damage is happening silently. Here's the science. Stage 1 is considered normal, with an eGFR above 90. Stage 2 is 89 to 60, where early decline begins. Stage 3A drops to between 59 and 45. Stage 3B from 44 to 30. Stage 4 is 29 to 15, and stage 5 below 15 is what we call outright kidney failure. But here's the shocking part. Even though stage 1 and stage 2 already mean your kidneys are under stress, most patients are told they're fine. The warning doesn't come until stage 3A, when it's already much harder to reverse the damage. So what does this mean for you? It means you can't wait for the system to flag it. You need to understand these numbers yourself and catch the problem in its earliest phase when change is still possible. Because the earlier you act, the better your chances of saving your kidneys. But just knowing the stages isn't enough, because there's a deeper flaw in the way the entire system labels kidney disease, and it might shock you even more. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will change how you think about your diagnosis. Now let's talk about something that almost no one questions: the way the medical system actually labels kidney disease. This is where things get frustrating because the truth is, the name itself sets you up to believe you're powerless. I remember a patient named Henry, 59 years old, who came to me furious. His doctor told him, "Congratulations, you're in stage 1 chronic kidney disease." Henry looked at him and said, "Wait a minute, how can it be stage 1 if everything is still normal?" And honestly, he was right to ask. Stage 1 means your kidneys are functioning at 90 or above, which should be considered healthy. Yet the system still stamps the word chronic on your record as if you already have a lifelong irreversible disease. Here's the problem. Words matter. When patients hear the word chronic, most give up hope. They assume nothing can be done. But science shows the opposite. Research confirms that in stages 1, 2, and even early stage 3 kidney damage can often be slowed or reversed with the right changes. The system isn't lying, it's just stuck in a model that focuses on treating symptoms, not fixing causes. That's why so many people feel trapped when in reality, they still have options. So the bigger danger isn't just the disease itself, it's the mindset the label creates. Because if you think you're doomed from the very beginning, you'll never fight back. And that's exactly why so many patients end up on dialysis, not because they had no chance, but because they lost hope too early. But only recognizing this flaw in the system is not enough, because there are hidden root causes silently destroying kidney function every single day. And when you hear what they are, you'll realize why millions of people are walking straight into kidney failure without even knowing it. You see, once we look past the confusing labels, the truth becomes clear. Kidney disease isn't some random curse that strikes out of nowhere. It's driven by 4 powerful root causes, and unless you understand them, you'll always feel like you're fighting in the dark. Let's start with the number 1 culprit: insulin resistance. Imagine your body like a lock and key system. Insulin is the key that lets sugar into your cells. But when you're insulin resistant, the lock gets rusty, sugar builds up in your blood, inflammation rises, blood pressure climbs, and over time those tiny filters in your kidneys take the hit. I'll never forget Robert, a 65-year-old truck driver who swore he had just a sugar problem. In reality, his kidneys were already scarred from years of high insulin. Science shows this is the leading cause behind kidney failure worldwide. But knowing this is only the first step, because insulin resistance isn't the only villain in the story. Next comes processed food. Think about it, real food in nature always comes with balance: potassium, magnesium, sodium, trace minerals, all in harmony. But processed food flips that balance upside down. Suddenly, sodium is sky high while potassium is dangerously low. Your kidneys, whose job is to keep that balance steady, get overloaded. I once worked with a woman who lived on canned soups and frozen meals. Her lab tests showed mineral imbalances that screamed kidney stress. Research confirms that diets heavy in processed foods drive kidney decline faster than almost anything else. Yet even if you cut out junk food, there's still another danger waiting. That danger is chronic dehydration. Picture your kidneys like a water filter. Without enough water, toxins, concentrate crystals form, and kidney stones build up. And if you're constantly sipping plain water without minerals, you're not hydrating, you're actually draining electrolytes your body desperately needs. I had a patient who thought she was doing everything right by drinking 3 liters of plain water a day. But her electrolytes crashed, forcing her kidneys to work overtime. Dehydration is one of the silent killers. But even this isn't the end of the story. Because the 4th root cause is medication overuse. Painkillers like ibuprofen, heartburn drugs, even certain antibiotics, they may feel harmless in the moment, but they choke off blood flow to your kidneys or inflame delicate tissues inside. I've seen patients who relied on daily pain meds for arthritis only to discover their kidney function had dropped by half. Studies prove that long-term use of NSAIDs and PPIs directly damages the kidney's microscopic filters. And this is the one cause almost nobody wants to talk about because it's hiding in plain sight in our medicine cabinets. But just knowing these 4 root causes still isn't enough, because the real question is, what can you actually do about it? And the answer is more than you think. So let's break down the science-backed solutions that can help you protect, repair, and even restore your kidneys starting today. So by now you understand the 4 root causes that silently damage the kidneys. But here's the good news: the same way your daily choices can harm your kidneys, they can also heal them. I've seen it happen time and time again in my patients, and the science backs it up. The first solution is to tame your blood sugar and insulin. That doesn't mean starving yourself. It means eating real food, fresh vegetables, lean protein, healthy fats, and cutting back on the processed carbs that spike your insulin. One of my patients, James, a 70-year-old retired teacher, reversed his early kidney decline simply by swapping sodas for water and bread for cauliflower rice. Within months, his creatinine dropped and his energy came back. That's the power of food. The second step is to support your blood pressure naturally. Remember, most high blood pressure is driven by insulin-resistant stress and mineral deficiencies. Instead of relying only on medication, you can add back magnesium and potassium through whole foods like leafy greens and avocados. I even teach my patients a simple breathing exercise: inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 6. Do that for 5 minutes a day, and studies show your blood pressure can drop by 20 points. Imagine what that means for kidney protection. Third, you've got to hydrate smart. Don't just chug gallons of plain water. Add a pinch of mineral-rich sea salt or eat a piece of fruit with water to keep electrolytes balanced. I call this intelligent hydration. When you hydrate this way, your kidneys filter more efficiently and your body holds on to the right minerals instead of flushing them out. And finally, detox your lifestyle. Look at the cleaning products in your home, the medications in your cabinet, even the snacks in your pantry. Ask yourself, does this support my kidneys or does it burden them? For many of my patients, simply reducing unnecessary meds and switching to cleaner, less toxic household items made a noticeable difference in how their labs looked. Small steps create big shifts over time, but listen carefully. Just knowing these solutions won't save your kidneys unless you act on them consistently. Because the final truth I'm about to share is the one almost no one talks about, and it could decide whether you ever face dialysis or not. So don't miss this last part. My friend, if you've stayed with me until now, that already tells me something powerful about you. You care about your health, you care about your future, and you care about living a life where your kidneys don't control you, but where you control them. And let me remind you that decision alone already puts you ahead of millions of others who are still in the dark. We've covered a lot today. We talked about the shocking truth that more than 50,000 people in America are told every single day that they have kidney disease, often with no warning. We uncovered the fact that early stages 1 and 2 can quietly slip past medical checkups without a single flag. And we revealed the 4 root causes: insulin resistance, processed foods, dehydration, and medication overuse that silently erode kidney function year after year. But more importantly, we talked about solutions, real, practical, doable steps that can lower your blood sugar, reduce your blood pressure balance, your hydration, and lighten the toxic load on your body. Now, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not powerless. Kidney disease is not some automatic death sentence. Even if you've been told you're in stage 1, stage 2, or even early stage 3, you have more influence over your kidney health than you've probably ever been told. Your lifestyle, your choices, your daily habits, they matter more than any pill. And the best time to act is not next year, not next month, not even next week. It's today. It's right now. So here's what I want you to do. First, take one thing from this video and apply it today. Maybe it's swapping out soda for water with minerals. Maybe it's cutting down on processed food this week. Maybe it's sitting quietly tonight and practicing a 5-minute breathing exercise to calm your stress and lower your blood pressure. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to do everything at once. Small, consistent steps build momentum, and momentum saves lives. Second, I want you to keep this information close. Save this video right now so you can come back to it whenever you need a reminder or when you feel like slipping back into old habits. Knowledge only works if it's used, and having this guide at your fingertips can make the difference between fear and confidence, between decline and recovery. And third, if you found value in what you've learned today, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Not just because it helps us grow, but because it helps you. Every week I share new evidence-based strategies designed to protect your kidneys, lower your creatinine, and keep you out of the dialysis chair. And I don't just share medical jargon, I share stories, real examples, and practical tips you can actually apply. So hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and make sure you never miss what could be the one video that saves your health. Before we close, let me leave you with one final thought. Your kidneys are resilient. They work day and night, filtering your blood, balancing your fluids, keeping your body in harmony, even when you don't notice. They don't complain, they don't shout, they just keep working. And all they ask in return is a little care, a little respect, and a little consistency from you. If you give them that, they will give you years of energy, clarity, and life in return. So don't walk away from this video in fear, walk away with hope. Because no matter where you are today, you have the power to turn the tide. You can protect your kidneys, you can rebuild your health, and you can live the life you deserve. This is Dr. Johnny thanking you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself, take care of your kidneys, and I'll see you in the next video.